Donald Trump warning the NFL commissioner on allowing players to kneel in protest to police brutality during the national anthem, writing they would be disrespecting the country and the flag. President Trump questioning Roger Goodell after admitting he was wrong on the players who were protesting peacefully.
We, the National Football League, condemn racism and the systematic oppression of Black people. We, the National Football League, admit we were wrong for not listening to NFL players earlier and encourage all to speak out and peacefully protest. We, the National Football League, believe Black lives matter.
Goodell did not mention Colin Kaepernick by name, who, of course, started the protest movement 4 years ago, and he's been out of a job since. Now, if you take anything away from this hour, please let it be this. This issue became a national flashpoint with President Trump calling protesting players sons of bitches. Mike Pence, if you remember, staged a walkout at a game where players did kneel, and the stunt cost taxpayers $325,000. But I want to explain to you how Colin Kaepernick even came up with the idea to kneel. He got it after he consulted with a former Green Beret who served in Iraq and Afghanistan and played for the Seahawks. A Green Beret who thought kneeling would be respectful. He told Kaepernick about a photo of Martin Luther King Jr. kneeling in prayer and protest at Selma. He also remembered himself kneeling in Arlington in reverence for his fallen friends. I want to bring in Dante Stallworth. He is a former NFL player and an activist who was at the protest last Monday that was broken up by officials. Dante, I want to start right there. Colin Kaepernick kneeling was never about trashing our military, our flag, or our country. But the president warped the truth and created this divide. And now here he is threatening Roger Goodell.
Yeah, it is interesting to see. And I think one of the biggest issues going into this is that what you just said, Stephanie, has been lost among the entire conversation for the last 3 years, right? Everybody talks about kneeling is disrespectful and all of this, but they don't talk about where he got the idea, who suggested that to him, and whose leadership he sought out to actually come up with a way to not be seen as disrespectful. But in this country, for far too many Americans, police brutality has been an abstract concept. And for far too many others, it has been a stark reality. And so players have known that. We've grown up in these communities. We have friends and family who's grown up in the communities where police brutality is unfortunately the norm, or if they've experienced it firsthand at some point. And for the president to come in and divide, make the culture war and try to divide everyone. But I think a lot of people did a good job of trying to get away from that issue, although the president has the executive branch behind him where there's a lot of other things he can do, where he's, went to other countries and spoke about this in domestic policy. But the players have fought forward. And I think, as I said back then, 3 years ago, that history will validate Colin Kaepernick. And I think it has. It's shown what we've all been discussing for the last 3 years. It's shown the fruits of all of that boiling to the top within concert with us dealing with the global pandemic, with the coronavirus.
But 3 years ago and today, Roger Goodell, the league, the owners, they knew the meaning of taking a knee, and they didn't stand with Kaepernick. Today, writer and journalist Jemele Hill says she doesn't buy Goodell's apology. She said that the NFL is suddenly worried about Black lives now. But when the league had the opportunity to be on the right side of history, it chose the coward's path. What is your reaction, given all of this information?
Yeah, I agree. I think that they had an opportunity, but they instead chose to stand with the president of the United States against its own players, which is essentially 3/4 of the NFL. And I was glad to see the players come out.
Then do you believe them now?
You know what? Words are a good first start, but what kind of ally are you going to be? Is it going to be a performative allyship, or is it going to be, standing in front of the NFL players, even using yourself, the NFL brand, the NFL shield, as we call it, using the shield to shield the players away from the president of the United States? That's what the players should have had 3 years ago, and they did not get it from anyone in the NFL except for the players.
Before we go, I do want to ask you about Bill Barr's statement about what went on in Lafayette Park last week. You were there. He said it was normal. The law enforcement's response was responding to some violent outbreaks. Was that the case?
No, not at all. I was there. There was a lot of other journalists were there. There's a lot of video of nothing happening before. People chanting, say his name, George Floyd. People even chanting, take a knee right before they just came out. It was mostly the U.S. Park Service where they came out and they started swinging their shields and batons and using chemical agents to disperse the crowd. Actually, the video you're showing right now, I'm literally to the left of that, just out of view. I'm right there. And all the reporters have said that they've used chemical agents, that they were swinging their shields and batons. It's on camera. So I don't know how you can refute that and that be okay and to stand with the American people. To me, that is just absurd.
Well, Daunte, the only thing you can do is keep telling the truth. Keep showing the pictures. Daunte, I appreciate you joining me this evening. I appreciate all that you do.
Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.